For those of you listening on the pod,
Welcome into hour two. Let's get it, gents. Depth chart defense. I don't know if we're gonna have time to do chalk talk. People are gonna be mad at me. Maybe we could fly through this and then we'll have time to do it. Let's hope. All right. So here is the newest, latest, more improved depth chart from our lads. Let's start in the middle with the big boys, defensive tackle. Okay. They got Kenny Clark at the nose, Devontae White as the defensive tackle. You guys know there's going to be two on the field there, right? Whether you're in a 4-3 base or you're nickel 4-2-5. So Kenny Clark, Devontae White. They've actually got Nazir Stackhouse as your backup nose tackle. Carl Brooks as the backup defensive tackle. Then after that, it's Warren Brinson, Kobe Wooden, and then Keith Randolph and James Esther. I want to get your all's take on this, Tim. I know you're going to have to hop off here in a minute, probably. Let me start with you in case you have to go after this segment. Defensive tackle, Kenny and Devontae. Do you feel like it's Nas? Nas is definitely the backup nose tackle because last year Carl Brooks surprisingly played a little nose as the backup when TJ Slayton wasn't available.
Well, when it comes to Nas and Carl Brooks, you use this statement every time.
Thick.
So I do think there's some truth to that, though. In all seriousness, we talked about the void in the run fits, especially on the nose or the three sometimes. Losing TJ Slayton. So when I see Big Nas Stackhouse out there, it does. He looks the part, and they just got to polish him up a little bit. I really believe that he could be that guy.
Yeah, and Warren Brinson, that's what's surprising to me is our lads having Stackhouse over Warren Brinson, with Warren Brinson being that draft pick, obviously.
Yeah, and Brinson's looked good too. Maybe the people that make millions of dollars a year to analyze players know a little more than we do, I guess.
and if you take that stance, Tim, who have they put on the field more? Right, surprised it was Stackhouse.
Big Nas Stackhouse. Yep,
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a knock on Brinson, right? It's just we always talk about this. Players develop at different rates, different paces, different ways. They fit into schemes differently at different times. So, I'm not panicking at all. I think Warren Brinson's going to have a fine career in the National Football League, but right now I think Stack's got the lead right now.
Got it.
Yeah, that's a good point, Tim. Like you said, how certain players fit in certain positions in times of need. I think right now, losing a guy like TJ Slayton, we just need somebody that is a little more of just an absolute, boulder in the middle of that defense, a dog, if you will. But I did see somebody in the comments said, I see him keeping 6 DTs. And when you look at it, it is hard to argue with that logic because, the guy that I called out, and I think a lot of the chat called out, and guys like Coach Lynn, I know in the chat said, watch out for Kobe Wooden. He's looked good. Kobe Wooden had a great game. And what's really cool too, is I don't know if you guys covered this on one of the shows I missed, but I didn't realize that they did a graduation ceremony. Matt LaFleur put that on for him. Post one of the practices, he actually had his mom come there. They mimicked that he was getting his diploma from college and everything. And I don't know if that maybe was a little spark to Wooden to kind of, get him a little more amped up, but I really love the fact that he took a step. I feel like Carl Brooks, that would be one of the bigger surprises ever if for whatever reason he didn't make the team. But like Tim said, I do believe Brinson's going to have a good career. And I think Stackhouse maybe just is flashing a little earlier than Brinson. And, that's, again, great problem to have. Great depth in another group.
Jacob, I'm pretty sure it was Wes or Mike Spofford that was talking about it. I'm pretty sure it happened Saturday morning. He was gonna go travel to Auburn and walk, but he wanted to be there for the guys and play and everything. And just the fact that, they flew his mom in and all that was just awesome. And really when we signed him, when he was 270, he's put on 30 pounds basically.
Is he really?
Here. Yeah. He's sitting at like, hey, he's sitting at 300 now. So, I mean, and he was my bubble guy for a while. I honestly think he's making a strong case to be locked in for the 53 at this point, the way he's been, kind of stringing days together and just getting better and honestly years together at this point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. All right, let's move it along here. Defensive end, Rashawn Gary, Lucas Van Ness, and you got Brenton Cox Jr., Kingsley Enagbare, Barron Sorrell, Colin Oliver. Obviously, Colin Oliver still banged up and hurt. Behind him, we got Aaron Mosby and Deslin Alexander. The big thing for me, Barron Sorrell looked the part, albeit just one a partial preseason game, and Igbare went out there and absolutely flashed. So it kind of feels like they've got this in the proper order here. I believe we would carry probably, if I had to guess, I would say 5, maybe 6, depending on if Colin Oliver's healthy. If Colin Oliver starts on the PUP list, I have no reason to think he is going to, just simply stating that he's been banged up to this point, probably a little bit behind schedule. If Colin Oliver goes to PUP, I think we only break camp with 5 edge defenders. Barron Sorrell will be that 5th, and there's really not a whole lot to talk about here unless I'm missing something else.
I would agree. I think it hinges all on Colin Oliver's availability, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. And they Hafley said that that Colin Oliver has been strictly in the defensive end room, that they're not trying to cross train him while he's working through this injury. Went on to say that they want him back, and that right now necessarily it's not working out the way that obviously either side wanted it to, but at one point they're going to need him. He said that we're going to need him. So that to me kind of indicates that they do see a future with him and being on the 53 active whenever he can be. And I will just say one other thing is that he went on to talk about how Barron Sorrell, how they're experimenting with him at 3 tech, at 4 tech, at 5, and different types of packages where they feel like he actually does have the capability to do that. We obviously know that they trust LVN to do some crazy stuff inside too, just with his brute strength. So it's there it is right there, baby.
No doubt about it. Let's see here. So Edge, Emilio, we good? Anything else?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, I'm totally cool with those 6. And honestly, having Aaron Mosby as the backup practice squad guy doesn't.
Or Alexander.
Doesn't
Yeah,
make
that's
me
with
mad,
Alexander. Right? Yes,
because
sleep on
at
those guys,
least they've
right?
seen a little bit of reps, so I like that.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, let's move it along to linebacker real quick. Our lads has let's see here. Quay Walker at the wheel, Adrian Cooper at the mic. You guys know in the 4-2-5, that's very, very interchangeable. I feel real confident based off how Matt LaFleur and Jeff Hafley have talked. Quay Walker will be wearing the green dot, so he will be your quote-unquote mock, although we know it just depends on what the call is, whether those guys line up in the mock or the wheel. So Quay, Adrian Cooper at the top. Then they've got listed Isaiah Simmons, Isaiah McDuffie, and then Tyron Hopper, Christian Welch. I would have agreed with this going into last week, but now I kind of feel like Tyron Hopper is on the verge of passing Isaiah Simmons up. Do you guys agree, disagree with that?
This guy agrees. This Tim guy in Green Bay agrees 100%. And that's not to dog Isaiah Simmons, but I think, the growth of Tyron Hopper should not be understated right now.
Yep.
We saw him last year. We wanted to see him make these steps. Now he's putting it together in real game, speed, and we've seen it on film. He's got the youth thing going for him, right? Longer shelf life. And again, not a knock on Isaiah Simmons, but if you told me right now, who would I pick? I'd probably go with Tyron Hopper right now.
Yep. I agree with that. Emilio, did you by chance see it was Hafley talking about how even while Quay has not been practicing, he's had the red dot or the green dot on, forgive me. And that during the practices, he's listening to everything. During the game, he was right next to him with the green dot on, listening to everything. He went on to say that based on, because sometimes some of the calls, they get a little lengthy. And he goes, he can basically now with the 3 first words that I state in any sort of play call and calling in, he looks at me and he knows the rest of what I'm going to say. And he said that's something that didn't happen in years prior. And that means that even though Quay, again, one of those guys that we wish were on the field, getting to gel with these guys and have all the time in the world, he's not just sitting on the sidelines and watching. He's still engaging his mind and his mental capabilities, which, sometimes may even be a blessing in disguise, because when you're on that field, your adrenaline, your emotions, your lack of wind are going to affect how you're thinking. But if he has a second to really sit there and only be mental, only watch everything, listen to everything, maybe he processes that and absorbs that information a little better, which in the long run will lead him to be a better linebacker for this team. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. And I was listening to that too. Yeah, he's got the headset in, he knows the play, he's finishing the calls. That just makes it easier on Hafley, because if he already knows the play coming in, okay, Hafley can give him that next little note before the 16 seconds is up. Hey, while you're at it, look at that slot coming across. Maybe they like to run motion bubble out of here, whatever, something like that. Just super simple. But he already knew the play call coming in. and getting that out there. And again, you didn't have that signal caller. I'm excited to see Quay and Coop take off, but I think Hopper can fill in those spots. I think that McDuffie can fill in those spots, and Simmons kind of needs to show it. He's got 2 games, to make a name for himself.
Yeah, as Coach Lynn says here, is Simmons in trouble for the 53? If we see another week like last week, Coach, I think so. He looked bad in the run fit. He looked bad in coverage. It was a tough look for Isaiah Simmons. And if you listen to the coaches like Hafley saying we're asking him to do a lot, right? He's trying to kind of settle him down like, hey, it's early. We're good, right? We're good. But when a coach has to say that, you want a coach saying what they were saying about Edgerrin Cooper last year. When they come at him in the media and go, he's got a lot to work on, he needs to learn how to fit this, fit that, that's how you know that dude's actually turning the corner, because they're going to, what we say, praise in public, right, and criticize in private.
Right.
When you're talking from an honest approach. In that case, when you're criticizing in public, that player's probably in a pretty good standing with the coach, in my opinion. It's those guys that they're not talking about that typically, don't make the cut. So, yeah, with Simmons, it's tough. Like Weed says here, I hope I said that right. I apologize if I did. Simmons will make it for special teams, even if he sucks on defense. I
feel that way about Christian Welch. I hope Christian Welch
Tim, I feel like
about
Bo Melton too, right? Like there's several players you could say that same thing about, which is a good thing.
And not to say that Christian Welch sucks on defense, because he doesn't suck on defense. It's just probably not his strong suit when compared to the value a guy like that adds in special teams, I think.
Yeah, Reef here said, I feel bad for McDuffie always getting overlooked. Reef, I know we're overlooking him, but the coaches aren't. To me, he is that third linebacker.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Jacob. What were you going to say?
No, I was just going to highlight that and say that if anything, if anyone other than Quay has got the green dot, I'm pretty sure it's Ben McDuffie that's filled into that role almost seamlessly in the past, where I just feel like the unknown, same thing like we said about some of the other guys, that Simmons may have a higher ceiling that we haven't potentially tapped, but I think that Isaiah McDuffie's floor is something that the Packers defense is just more comfortable with, knowing what they're going to get from him.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's move it along here as we're going to get into, let's see, I'm Stackbacker. Let's go ahead and talk corner real quick, all right? So cornerback, Keyshawn Nixon, Nate Hobbs, Javon Bullard. Those are your starters in your nickel 4-2-5, obviously Bullard being in the slot, okay? Now, after that, who do we have here?
Oops, sorry, my bad.
That's all right, man. Sorry. After that, who do we got? So, again, we got Keyshawn, we got Nate Hobbs, we got Javon Bullard. So, next on the depth chart, according to our lads, is Bo Melton, Carrington Valentine, Kalen King. Carrington's the only one I feel for sure on there, right? So, there's 4. Now, the question becomes, who's going to be your 5th, and do you carry a 6th? Would your 5th be Kalen King, or would it be Bo Melton up to this point? And if you carry 6, is there a chance that Micah Robinson could creep up? Still one of those spots.
I say we keep Bo and Kalen King.
Yeah, sure.
So you want to carry
and we stash Micah Robinson, right?
Yeah, you could probably get away with that. I imagine you would probably – I don't know, though. We got away with stashing Kalen King last year. It's not like there's a whole lot of tape out there.
You watched that game on Saturday, Clay? He looked pretty good.
Yeah, he did. You're right. Do you think one game in the preseason that would warrant somebody going, hey, look, that's worth a stab at? I mean, I guess it depends on the room, right, Tim? How bad?
That's what I was thinking, right? You're right. Like it's not a sure, slam dunk, but you got to think he's got to be rotating on some radars. I mean, there's some pretty banged up secondaries across the league. I mean,
definitely more than Micah, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's my point. Yep.
It's a great point. Yeah. What do you guys think? Jacob?
It would be something where the Lions would come in and snag King and take him over to their
squad.
Oh
my gosh! Don't say
that. You don't say that.
You don't say that.
I'm just saying it's something they would do.
Especially
they are banged up in the secondary.
Terrion Arnold went down recently, so.
Was it Terrion Arnold or was it Rakestraw?
Rakestraw. Forgive me.
But they also They also lost a safety, right, as well.
Yeah, they've lost somebody about every position, it sounds like, man. Be honest with you.
I guess the only way that I'd push back on that is because I kind of agree with Coach Len. It's like if we want to keep 6 D linemen, meaning those D tackles, that's kind of going to push against that. That's again if we want to keep 3 tight ends or even 4 tight ends if we're going to keep 3 running backs or 4 running backs. Like,
that's a great point by the coach, right?
Right.
We think about these rooms and these groups. We got to realize it's 53 spots, period.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Anything else on the cornerback room, fellas? We good?
Glover, he could play, right?
He could probably play. I think he could play slot. I don't think he's quick enough to play
I'm
bound.
telling you. And Kalen King didn't really play slot in college anyway. I mean, I think he had like less than 50 snaps or something like that in college at slot. So we are asking him to go outside the box here a little bit.
That's kind of a recent thing, right? We saw him in the slot kind of recently.
I don't remember it last year, Tim. I think you're right, man.
No, I'm thinking like as recently as like the last couple of weeks, they've been working him into the slot. Maybe because Nate Hobbs is, dealing with what he's dealing with right now.
Could be, yeah. All right, let's move on to safety here. Xavier McKinney, Evan Williams, those are your starters. Katano Ladapo, Zane Anderson. We know those Zane Anderson's battling a little bit of an injury. Last year, we broke camp with 5 safeties. And again, you guys know how I feel about this. I think Javon Bullard is going to be listed. He may not be listed as a corner, but for me, he's definitely our starting nickel back, right? So how comfortable are you with Kalen King kicking into the starter role if a safety goes down? Do you throw Javon Bullard back there in your nickel 4-2-5? He'll definitely be playing safety if one of the 2 top safeties go down in your base. But McKinney and Evan Williams, and you got Katano Ladapo, Zane Anderson, then Omar Brown, Jonathan Baldwin, and, of course, Garnett Hollis Jr. For me personally, if we're treating Javon Bullard like he's strictly a slot corner, right, and I had to pick 5 out of this group, and everybody's healthy, I'm going McKinney, Williams, Oladapo, Anderson, and my 5th between Jonathan Baldwin and Omar Brown. I think I'd probably go Omar Brown for the reason that Tim brung up and the fact that there's some tape out there of Kalen King, right? So he'll probably get poached. There's some tape of Omar Brown there for what he's done here.
Indiana, baby, let's go. Indiana or Nebraska?
Nebraska.
Red and white jerseys.
Yep.
Nebraska. Omar Brown, UDFA. Let's go.
Yep.
What do you think, Emilio? How do you see the safety room, man? Do you think who would be your 5th if you did put Javon Bullard as a nickel corner?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's gotta be Omar. Honestly, I think he's shown enough at this point. The push is, what's up with Zane? Is he going to be injured going into the season or not? That's going to be a big tell. And it's one of those things where, we were trying to figure out the 53 for weeks now. We're still going to figure it out as it's coming up, but you'll get an injury here or there. Somebody might need to be added to the pup, and then you sneak in another guy. Where we were worried about not getting enough guys. Hey, maybe we snuck this guy on through just the 53 cut because there was an injury to Zane at safety, as an example, and then hey, we got an extra linebacker on or something along those lines. So if we don't need him back right away, I don't I could see them sliding him on pup, or if it's worse than we thought, that could be an option. But it's got to be Omar if we're choosing another guy.
As Weed says here too, if Bullard is counted as a cornerback, just keep 4. Let's approach it that way, Jacob. If you look at the safety room here, McKinney, Williams, would it be Oladapo and Zane Anderson, or would you keep Omar Brown over one of those 2 guys? If everybody's healthy, of course.
Boy, that's a tough one there. That kind of throws another curveball into the situation, huh? But, does Zane Anderson have enough tape on film where people – obviously you got the PFF grade. That alone sometimes is enough to sway, teams and front offices to try to take a stab at some of these guys. I understand that sentiment if Bullard was just counted as a cornerback, but I believe Hafley and LaFleur both mentioned that because of the injury to X, that Bullard's going to have to be playing a little more safety than they envisioned him playing at this point in the preseason in camp. And they also said it was kind of a tough line to walk because they wanted to have him play that nickel spot more and not have to be cross-trained, which again was part of the reason that I believe Emilio brung that up quite a lot last year, that he would never have much continuity. Like all of a sudden he'd be training all week for a certain position. And all of a sudden the night before, hey, guess what? You're going to go back to safety now. Now, guess what? You're going to be back in the slot. And that just to me is not setting a player up for success. A guy with the caliber of draft stock of a Bullard. And you guys know that I absolutely loved the guy. I thought he was going to be the coolest thing since sliced bread. And, I'm not ready to give up on him in any way, but I also think that the coaches, we talked about earlier how coaches could be quote unquote the issue. injuries forcing coaches to play players in other positions, I don't think that you can blame either the player or the coach. It just is an unfortunate circumstance. And I hate to see Bullard have to be spread to multiple positions again and not get to hone in on what he could be best at. So that's my only pushback on that. But if it does happen, I'd be comfortable keeping 4 safeties because the 4 safeties are going to be, I'd argue, probably one of the better safety groups in the whole NFL.
Yeah,
Tim,
as
what do
long
you
as
think,
one
man?
of
If you
those
had to carry
safeties- one of those safeties would be
Dog. He is an absolute dog.
so if we go for it's X, it's E Will, it's KT, and then Zane if he's healthy, right? If Zane's not healthy, then it's Omar Brown, possibly, if you're going to go for 4 safeties, right? Maybe Jonathan Baldwin, I don't know. But I think there's validity to that point. Like it's tough to, we heard Coach Bisaccia talking about, we got to get our guys ready to play, in all phases all the time, be ready to go. You never know when your number is going to get called. That's the emphasis, but the execution is another thing. Clearly, since Javon Bullard has come to Green Bay, his strong suit seems to be being a nickel corner.
Yep.
Like safety play is difficult for him. So unless we see a jump, then, I don't know. Maybe that is the approach. There's a good point to that comment, right? Maybe we keep 4 safeties and consider Bullard a corner.
Right. And as Jen Wright says here too, Zane Anderson, special teams demon. You guys are seeing a theme here. We've said that about 4 or 5 different positions, right? That tells me, I'm just saying, don't be surprised if the special teams coverage takes a pretty significant step forward this year. I would not be surprised one bit in that regard. So anything else on the depth chart before we get into chalk talk, boys? Anything at all? We good?
We're just not going to talk about long snapper? Is that what we're going to do?
It's Matt Orzech. Get over it.
Matt Orzech might make the 53 because we might have an injury spot or two to still be able to bring guys on that we would like. If not, Matt Orzech would probably, if they need to sneak a guy on the roster,
Just saying.
That's the option.
Emilio, you've been over there editing Madden 26 roster, getting Matt Orzech up there.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, I've been honestly. First thing I did was went into the appearance and fixed the haircut on my man. But
such a rough look, bro. Gosh, it's so bad.
Yeah, it's brutal.
All right, let's get it, boys. Let's get a little chalk talk in here. This is going to be kind of an abbreviated version. If this is your first time tuning into Chalk Talk here on PTA, full disclaimer: there's a chance the stream goes down. Okay, if it does, it'll come right back up. However, if if the stream goes down, you go, I'll catch it later. We will have this segment of the show edited in its entirety into a separate video. Okay, so just know that could happen here. This is from the Jets game. Listen, I didn't get crazy. I didn't call out formations. I wasn't out here saying this is a 12 dubs or anything like that. This is just simply let's watch some one-on-one matchups. And right off the bat, this is going to be mostly Jordan Morgan. You guys know you've heard us talk about him all week long. I'm going to go 75% here, okay, on the speed. But you guys tell me what.
You're not going to go 65%?
I wish I could.
I wish I could.
It won't let me.
Just one last joke. I got to take off.
You, buddy.
I'll see you guys. Catch you on the flip like Michael Scott. See ya.
There you go. What's Jordan? I thought he hit in stream. I was like, oh, no.
I did too. Dude.
Come on now. I got you. I got the drop for Tim to get out of here.
All right, so let's watch Jordan Morgan here, guys. Again, left tackle. Watch the feet. Please watch. Was it Tim? Or
no, it just wasn't up. I pulled it up. You're good.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna get Tim out of here. Well, he may be watching behind the scenes, getting ready. So, Jordan Morgan. All right, you got it on the screen, Emilio. We're good.
You're good.
All right, let me make sure the volume's down. So, watch his feet. Watch 77's feet. He's just so smooth. He doesn't panic. It surprised the hell out of me. You see that? Just that little something there. Again, watch him. Watch him kind of jump out, settle back in. Just patient. Yeah. He looks smooth, man. He looks way more comfortable there than he has at right guard. I can see now why they're trying to force that position battle at left tackle. If anything, it'll push Rasheed Walker. And like I've said, this is kind of a free audition for Jordan Morgan this year to see what they got, find out what they need to work on, and then when Sheed's gone next year, plug and play him into left tackle with the improvements. That makes sense?
Yep. And the kick step and then getting to his base quickly. He's not dragging that right foot back to it, shuffle. Chop your feet, you're ready to go. And yeah, good base, takes the bull rush right on, no problem.
Yeah, what I like about it too is notice his right hand. This is a signature of his in college too. Notice that right hand, how he just kind of, you can tell it's kind of a little tick, almost like he's going to handle it one-handed, and then he jabs with both hands. I really like it. I don't know why. I haven't seen many tackles do that. But here we go again. Next rep, left tackle. See it again. See the hand floating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good base, man. Good hand fighting.
I swear it's almost like he's doing it like a balance thing because he's kicking so hard left that he's got to offset that momentum. But like Emilio said, I mean, he doesn't seem panicked. It looks very under control, and he has that base. He's able to set that kind of anchor steps where he's like, I mean, he's getting pushed a little bit, but that's impressive, man.
Yeah, he collects that, that first shot that he takes, and he doesn't. I mean, yeah, he digs in, but he's not losing himself. He's not going overboard. He knew the power was coming. Okay, handle that and keep moving. And real quick, just peek at Elton over here at center. Oh, I get to eye you up.
There you go.
That's what we're talking about. Get a little rib shot.
Who's 66?
65, I think they were talking
about. Is that
about
65? Is that Banks?
Yeah,
Banks. I didn't like that first rep from him. That looked a little rough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll have those, Jacob. That was like you on the telephone pole last night.
Yeah,
that first rep was a little rough.
Just like Jacob at the office too. Look at the spirit fingers from Jordan Morgan here. Watch his fingers. Get a little flicker there, a little flick. Let's go. Let's get it. All right, next rep. Zach Tom saved Jordan Love's life right there. Should have been a hole, but we won't talk about that. Moving on to the next. Watch Jordan Morgan, left tackle. Love that. Just calm, right? Patient.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I would describe it, is patient. He's very, very patient. Watch him let's just collect this. All right, we're good. Bad throw by Love. Obviously, but I got Luke Musgrave killed. So,
Jeez.
But again, Jordan Morgan, now you're seeing him work left to right, kind of jab step out, work himself back into the right. Pretty good rep there.
Do you guys see more kind of I hate saying choppy as if it's a bad thing, but the way that he's moving his feet so quickly, like he's never allowing himself to get off base. I don't think I've seen that from many offensive linemen where it seems like he's always, like Amelia just said, in a position to absorb the contact and not get like overloaded on one side or the other. Does that make sense?
He's patient. That's what I'm talking about when I say patient, Jacob. It's like he's got this stutter to him to just fall in sync. Looks really good, I think. At least this is one game, obviously, but I love this one right here, Emilio. Notice him pass it off. Oh, they got to be a cat somewhere. Go get that cat, right?
I think that's what he realized. The dude, he's like, okay, I'm not even getting engaged here. The dude slipped underneath me to go to Banks. What's going on? Get my head up fast. Look around. I love that because you just protected your QB's blind side. Like that's so key. I mean, imagine if the cat just keyed off on him and just got a back shot on. That's not ideal. What we're looking for on our starting QB.
That's right. All right, next rep. Y'all held that together so well. I'm so proud of you. All right, so now look at left tackle.
I realize it.
Jordan Morgan. Watch him here. I'm telling you, he's just calm. He's smooth. He doesn't panic at all. Just kind of absorbs. Love it, man. Absolutely love it. Now you see Sean Ryan saving the day too. Right there, you got a little what would we call that? What was it? We always call that a bandit, maybe. Not a bandit. A dog blitz. Sorry, a delayed blitz. Yeah. Mike, you see him fire in there, and look at Sean just made him pay. Watch Sean Ryan land on his kidney right here. Like, get you started.
Sean said, "I tripped as I was blocking this guy.
Oops.
I'm sorry."
Take a peek here. We're looking at Jordan Morgan, obviously, right? We look at solid rep. Somebody gets annihilated in the middle. Who was at number 46? He did his job, but
is that Amar?
That's Amar.
Hey, I'm happy he went forward and made the connection at the line of scrimmage instead of right in front of Malik's feet.
In that situation there, the goal is it's kind of like on field goal block, die slow, right? You're gonna die.
Right.
Do it slow. You know what I mean? Absorb it. Now look at Belton on this one.
I was just gonna say. Yeah,
not bad, right?
Weed said the same thing. Belton looking good on the other side too. Weird seeing a 71 looking confident. Hey,
yes. Notice the punch there from Belton too. Watch him. Get you some.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say even check the hands, like just a completely different stance. Like just look if you can try to watch them both at the same time. But Belton is both hands inside the chest, like right at the plate, and Jordan Morgan almost has both of them outside of his shoulder width. And that's you get different techniques. It doesn't have to be the same thing each time. As long as it works for you. Belton looks like he's a little tighter under the shoulders. His knees are. He's not as wide of a base, but he's under it. He's He's not overextended. I love it.
Yep. Good point. All right, next play. Moving along here. I don't know if it's still offensive line or not. We'll find out, though. Yep. All right, so again, Jordan Morgan left tackle. Look at that jump, too, boy. Good jump by Jordan Morgan. So you get Jordan Morgan left tackle, Anthony Belton right tackle. Let's watch it. Pretty solid rep right there, right? That's all you got to do. Hold up at the point of attack. Look at Belton this time. Let's watch him. He gets skated back a little bit, but regathers pretty well, right? Not a bad rep. So
that dude really just tried to swim Monk. That's rough.
Yeah.
I mean, because what's Monk? 6'2", 6'1", 6'2"?
Yep. Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys have heard, sounds like Willie Lampkin. You remember him? The real
He's
short,
looking great.
having a great camp, boys. Hey, and Emilio, we said we would give credit when credit was due. Emery Hunt said it was the best center in the draft. Did he not?
Told you. I've been saying that's why we go to all the bases. Where is our man here?
Well, where is he now?
I don't know, Jacob. I have no clue. I just heard somebody talking.
I saw the flashes. I actually saw some Instagram reels of him, and I was like,
was it Chargers?
I think it might be Chargers.
Because I'm pretty sure DJ's been talking about him a lot too, Clay. Just saying, hey, we got to mention Willie Lampkin here.
Got it.
All
right.
168.4 on the board, dead center. Actually, one spot above Jacob Bayer, Arkansas State.
Oh, is he still in the league?
Seriously,
he didn't get drafted, right? Am I thinking right?
I don't think he got drafted, correct?
No. You know, it is some of these guys.
It's saying Rams. That's right. That's what it was.
Oh, Rams. Okay,
and he's crushing it. Yeah.
Got it. All right, next play. This is our boy Amar Johnson. Let's just roll the tape. Enjoy the play here. First of all, you got to key in on our boy right here. Watch Anthony Belton on this play. This is absolutely awesome. Pretty sure this is a run. So this is our pony package, right? Double sidecar. Okay. Let's watch it. Watch Belton first. Get to that backer and just bang. Let's go. Bang. Look at Amar, man. Just bouncing off the tackles. That's what I'm talking about with Amar. Look, get to the hole, right? Hit the hole.
Cut back.
Just bang. And we're off to the races. And look at Sean Clifford out there, baby. Getting a hand on somebody. Let's go.
I love that.
Amar Johnson, it's pretty smooth. Pretty smooth. Contact balance, man. That's something I think it gets overlooked a lot in the NFL. It's just being able to keep body control, being able to keep your balance. Really liking his tape a lot, man. All right, next play. Anything y'all want to add to that? You know, loop it or anything? Anything else you see that I missed, maybe?
I just think
by everybody.
I think that's an example of a play as to why they thought Belton was worth the draft capital we spent on him. He just that makes me excited.
And listen, we've been very critical on Jacob Monk. But watch Jacob get turned. I think that's Jacob Monk, ain't it? That center right there?
I think so.
Yeah, watch him get turn, seal it off. See?
Yeah, that's big. That's big. That's a split flow, right, Clay? We got the line, all the lines going right. We got the U going left.
Yep. And somebody got a pancake in there, too. Who was that? Off the edge.
That's Messiah Swinson on I think on the edge there.
It is. Watch this finish. Bang. Let's go.
Down. We got like 3 pancakes on that.
I was going to say, there's a couple of them.
Did a little Rasheed Walker at the end, too.
Oh, yeah.
Keep you a little extracurricular right there, right? Right there. All right. Moving along. Before we get canceled over here. You know what I mean? Next play. See what we got. All right, here we go. Brenton Cox Jr. You kidding me? Let's see where he's lined up here. There's your 0, right? There's your 2. There's your 4. This will be your 6. So what we call that? A 5 tech, correct, guys? Or no. This is a 6-eye, baby. This is a 6-eye. I apologize. So Brenton Cox Jr. in the 6-eye. Look at this. Attacking the mesh point. Remember that drill that Tim posted on Twitter that we watched last night?
Yeah.
That's what they're working on right there. Don't overcommit to the running back, right? Bang. Attack the mesh point. That's a nice little rep right there.
You're not running away from him, right, Jacob? There's no way. You've tried
it. We're steering clear of all the jokes tonight. I'm really proud of us. Like Tim said, that kind of read option quarterback keeper type drill that they did, this was his Achilles heel in college. It's one of the reasons, with some possible character issues that were presumed, that he did not get drafted when he was considered a first or second round talent in years prior. And to see his maturation and the way that he's kind of honed his game, I'm over the moon, man. I really do think he's going to have himself a breakout year, and people are going to remember that name, and not just because it's awesome.
And some people are probably thinking, why is he unblocked there? That's how a zone read works. But also, look at the attention Nas Stackhouse gets. Look at that double team he absorbs. See it in the middle?
Yep.
So there you go. Nas eating a double team. Brenton Cox Jr. staying fundamentally sound. So stop looking at the chat, Jake.
I can't.
I can't stop. All right, next. Who we got here? Is that Brenton Cox again, or is this in a bar? Who is this? It's hard to tell, isn't it?
That looks like Sorrell.
Oh, this is Sorrell. Here we go.
Sorrell. Yeah.
Come on now.
So with
the
Baron
quick
Sorrell,
hands.
watch the hands. Exactly. Watch the hands on Baron Sorrell. I would call this a wide 9. Some would call it a 7 tech. All right.
How
Watch-
about these hands?
You got started over now.
Scared me.
Watch the hands. Look at that. I mean, it's just literally watch. He's just going to get a little play. Just get out of the way, little boy. And of course, you got to finish there, right? And that's you can't let that happen. And that's some bad containing. And listen, that is somewhat on Baron Sorrell. You got to be able to keep your balance there. He does slip a little bit, but Kobe almost got him. Almost.
Yeah.
I think they might have got called for a hold here as well on Kobe. I could be wrong. Yeah, right there probably.
Yeah.
Kind of by the jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a laundry right there. Yeah. So again, though, Baron Sorrell, we're seeing it with quick off the jump, nice hands, just understands how to create separation.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what was really interesting too is listening to Halfley talk about how I think they asked, like, how do you see what's most impressive about Sorrell? And he said in game, he made mistakes and then made adjustments within the same game. And he goes, I've never seen that really from rookies that are able to. So for instance, in this one, just not being able to maybe, if he could bend a little more, like you said, just a slight over pursuit after he made a great play, chopping the hands, doing the swim, all that, and then coming around and just over pursuing a little bit, not being able to kind of take that angle in the right way. But apparently he said that in a few plays down the road, he kind of corrected himself to the point where it was like, okay, like the coaches really didn't even really need to reiterate it to him. He just intuitively did that himself, that he kept making slight mistakes, but then would make improvements within 2 or 3, 4 or 5 plays later, which is something, again, that he said he's not seen from most rookies.
Yeah, definitely. All right, up next here, we've got Baron Sorrell again. This is going to be in the wide 9. What coach say there? I can't see it on the screen.
Says
Sorrell
Sorrell been watching Gary for sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
no doubt. And he said that when they drafted him, right? Talked
Yep.
about that. So, all right, here we go. Wide 9 look. Hold on to your britches, boys.
With
Watch
the
this.
wide front too. The tackles are wide.
Ooh,
I mean, he just, yeah. And again, I know he gets the pass off, but that right there, I mean, he is all over the quarterback. Let's watch
Yeah.
the move here. You get just straight power, right?
that's just a bull rush, right?
Power, but with quick and good hands. The second time he's beat 61 just by swatting. I mean, if he's got strong forearms or wrists or something, I mean, the dude is able to swat and release that. Just don't leave your feet when you're going to hit the QB. That's it.
You guys know the rules here. On Twitter, I need somebody to help me out, all right? I need y'all to screenshot this and tag me in the tweet. This right here is not what you're looking for. Right?
On all fours.
Yeah. Right there.
No.
And let's do this. Let's add this to it too, right here, just to give him one of those right there. You know what I mean? Just so everybody knows. So give him a second.
You do that, you're going to get your ass kicked. And then
That's exactly right. Thank you for screenshotting that, folks. All right, there's your little Baron Sorrell look. And that's Isaiah Simmons with a missed tackle there. So
Yeah.
what respect.
He says the guy, and he looks like I've lost my glasses. He's on his hands and knees like Velma from Scooby-Doo.
All right, so who we got here? Is this Tyron Hopper, gents?
Uh-oh.
So when you hear us say double A gap mug, right?
Coffee
double
cup.
mug or double barrel, right? This is what we're talking about. Look at the both inside linebackers in the A gap. Okay.
Love that play.
Let's see if he actually blitzes. Now look, he belling. We've seen Edgerrin Cooper do this all year last year. So look at Tyron Hopper going looking for work on the 2. And then coming back underneath. That's a pretty solid rep right there. I mean, seriously, look, he's going to get out, cover his guy, go looking for work. Bang.
Yep.
Nice.
Still
we
illegal
kind
to hit him, get him off his route line. All right, come back and close. Looked like a nice little cover 3 drop. Everybody's there.
Yep. And we think of Tyron Hopper as a thumper, right? This
Yep.
is good to see in pass coverage. It is.
I was going to say, is that the running back creeping out there, number 6? No, was that a
Little
running back
drag
they
route.
split out?
Oh.
Yeah.
The
Little
receiver.
drag and stop.
Yeah.
I mean, just like how many times have we watched our linebackers not get any sort of chip? No, like you said, no impeding of the route, just having an open, easy catch. I am really encouraged to see this because, like you said, when we drafted Hopper, I thought maybe he could be a third, fourth string, thumper, and that'd be about it. I'm starting to see some flashes that this dude could really push to be the top three.
I think he's going to get reps this year. Like we had a lot of faith in Eric Wilson last year. I think Hopper can be the guy, maybe not Eric Wilson level, but the guy, that's going to come in and take, 150, 200 snaps and,
Sure.
give him some breathing room, go in there with an injury. I think he could start a game for us this year for sure. If there's an injury at the linebacker room, I think that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Just so notice Enigbare here too. Just dog walk the tackle right into the quarterback. See him? I think that's Enigbare, is it not?
Yep.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, it looks like 55. So nice rep there from him as well. All right, next play here. Were you going to say something, Jacob? Do you have something there?
Just want to let you know if you can't see it. Donovan Schilling says he's tagged you, so he'll be the one posting that picture screenshot of you.
Nice.
Oh,
And yes, the center 71, that is Josh Myers.
Oh,
wow. All right. So here we go. This is Hopper again, right? What's he playing here? Let's see if we can identify it, right? How do you identify the Mike or the Will? In this case, who's number 40? That's Omar Brown, right? So I think we're in a nickel here. I don't see – actually, hold up a minute. So we came out in like a 34 jam, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's Isaiah Simmons. So they got Isaiah Simmons up on the line, right? This is Brenton Cox Jr. So you got 3 down defensive linemen, right? This is kind of a 3 –
Hafley's really like – I think he really is kind of blurring that line of 3-4-4-3 because we got stand up. You got. I mean, we have down linemen here, but we've got kind of the stand up edge look. You got hand in the dirt edge look, and
it's
you've
Brenton
got
Cox Jr., who's a defensive end, but he's playing technically linebacker, right?
Right, because right now, right, but theoretically we're 4-3 on the starting from the left tackle going right. That's our 4 down D lineman, and then you got the 3 backers kind of walked up. But it comes off as a 3-4 jam, and it just gives the defense another option of, hey, if we can come out in our regular base set and give these different looks, you're going to kind of give the offense a fit, especially on an even look like this. You're guessing that there's a wide receiver on either side.
Yep, and notice this too. This tight end is the one that's on the line of scrimmage, so that would be your U. So this is your Y. So we would say strong left here, okay? So with a strong left – and knowing now that these are actually your defensive linemen, because in the blue here, that's your stack backer, Isaiah Simmons. This is what you would call, again, playing under the strong side of the formation, opposite of it, if you will. So what you've got here is a 4-3 under because you're playing under the strong side, which is left. All right. So you got a 4-3 under with the Sam on the line of scrimmage. Another way of looking at this, if you wanted to say Isaiah Simmons is a defensive lineman because he's on the line of scrimmage, you know what this is? This is the old school 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. Look. See what I'm saying, Emilio?
Yep, absolutely. Cool.
Although it's technically a 4-3 under, but like you said, he's blurring the lines. It's almost like a 3-4 look.
Right, because you still only have 4 secondary out there at that point. I mean, it's you can't. You're not adding them. You're not in dime. You're not in nickel. I mean, you have your base look out there. But if you have the speed or the physicality on the edge to be able to run that 5-2 look, that's Hafley's cooking over there.
And you had Omar Brown showing spur, and he bails out. So
I like what Joel for this says. He goes, Hafley runs a 3.5 by 3.5.
There you go. Right.
Kind of shading it. Yeah.
All right, so back to Tyron Hopper. You see the red arrow. Let's watch a man work here. So they're going run right. This looks like a little duo action. Look at him fill the gap, stay patient. Want to see him get his head up, though. That was a little scary. You agree, Emilio? Watch his head snap back. How many times have we seen guys go limp right there?
Yeah.
Got to stay on your feet, man. Got to stay on your feet. But still.
Drive through it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Maybe he slipped, too. Who knows? All right, here he is again. So just wanted to point out, that was the whole point of pointing that out just a second. Let me go back. Pre-snap. I want to see if he's playing mock. So he's definitely playing mock here, isn't he? Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's the mock. Isaiah Simmons is the Sam. And technically our boy Christian Welch would be there.
Right. And like Coach was saying, the closer to the ball, the better for Simmons. Maybe that's the route for him to go. But we need to see it. And Hafley, perfect. Let's call 5-2 or whatever, walk him up. And I like how he can close and still keep that edge.
All right, here we go. Let's look at this front. Go back just a touch. All right, so they're using a little cheat motion. You're strong right here, okay? So we're playing – this is what you would call a 4-3 over this time. Why? Because we're playing over the tight end, okay?
That honestly looks like nickel because isn't that King over Enigbari on the left there? Then you got Hopper, Simmons.
Yeah, we're in nickel. Yeah, I apologize. This is still an over front. I apologize.
Yep, definitely.
So this is what you call an over front. So why is it over? Your 3 tech is on the strong side. Your 1 tech is on the weak side, and that's Nas. Okay. So now let's identify. And you're right, Emilio. This is definitely nickel. Who would be the Mike? Who would be the Sam or the Will here in this situation? So strong side of the formation. The Mike's always on the strong side. That's Isaiah Simmons, isn't it? So in this case, Tyron Hopper is actually the Will in your nickel. Okay. And that's what I mean by it's very, very interchangeable.
Because Tyron Hopper could still have the dot, right, and be the will on this play call, but still giving the play as a Mike.
No. And it comes down to how you game plan for different teams on different weeks. Do they run a lot of strong side? You remember when Matt LaFleur first got to Green Bay, we ran a lot of weak side runs, right? So they may want to if someone runs a lot of weak side runs, guess what? You're going to play more under fronts. If they run strong side more often, you're going to play over fronts, right? And that's going to change where the assignments lie, especially when you go to your nickel. It plays a little bit more of a role because you may cheat up on the strong side of the formation and then take your 2 stack backers and shade them to the weak side, therefore making what normally would be your will, your Mike. It gets a little confusing, but it's pretty straightforward too. So here we go. Let's see if they run. All right, so you got an inside run, and you see Hopper right here in the middle. So it's kind of point of attack. Let's see how he handles a blocker up front. Oh, yeah. Low man wins, right?
Yep.
Watch him kind of just a little hand usage, stick to the gap, sticks his face in the fan is what they say, right? Nice little rep there. All right. Good deal. Let's see if we got one more. Yeah, we got one more. All right, here he is again, Tyron Hopper. Let's find out where he's lined up. Where's your strong side of the formation? You got 2 tight ends over here, don't you? So you're strong from the offense's perspective. You're strong right. So now let's identify. Is this a nickel? It's a nickel, right? Or is it Emilio? That looks like 28 right there.
That looks like –
yeah, this is definitely be our base.
Yep.
So what you've got here in this situation is you are actually – this is one of those odd fronts because you notice you got a 3 tech on the weak side and you're playing kind of a 2-eye here, right? On the strong side of the field.
And you kind of have to because you got a 12 personnel with both tight ends on one side of the field. So you got to kind of get a little bit of weight to that side of the line.
Yeah. So for identifying who's what here, your Mike would be Tyron Hopper on this situation. Christian Welch, once again, is your Will, and your Sam is Isaiah Simmons. So it sounds like Isaiah Simmons, they are really trying to force him to be a Sam backer in the base 4-3. So maybe that's what they're looking at. All camp long, they're trying to see does he have the body to handle that Sam position? And old school people will go, Sam needs to be bigger. They got to handle the point of attack. They got to set the edge. In today's football, the Sam needs to be able to cover a tight end because those guys can run like receivers. So Isaiah Simmons kind of fits that bill there for sure. Let's roll the tape here. Watch Tyron Hopper. Another run play. Patient. Oh, yeah.
I think that was probably Simmons' best rep. You watch him, stands up, forces it inside.
Yeah. Now watch Hopper here. Just patient.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bang.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't over pursue. Like go outside thinking that he would pop it. Nope.
Yeah. If you allow that reach block to get to you right there, notice that guy's reaching for him 67.
Yep.
If Hopper overcommits there, he's going to get blocked, washed out, and it's probably a 4-yard gain as opposed to a 2-yard gain. So that's a solid rep right there, man.
Yeah. And I like how he kind of let him out and then dipped underneath. Whoops.
Yep. And people don't think about it. I'm glad you bring that up, Emilio. At the linebacker position, it's just like a running back will try to set up a cutback. Linebackers are doing the same thing to the offensive line. They're trying to trick you into thinking they're going here and they're going to dip under.
He really did, too. Did you see him pull his arms underneath and like, whoop?
Yep, exactly. Yep. Linebackers react very, very similar to running backs or just on the defensive side of the ball. You're trying to manipulate, and you know where your assignment is. Your goal is to not let the offensive lineman who's trying to block you or the tight end is trying to block you know where your assignment is. So.
I love how he almost does the Jordan Morgan hand thing where you can tell his body's going to go real hard to the left, but he needs to have that counterbalance to shoot back over and then do the little feet shuffle. Yep. Like I'm really impressed with Hopper, honestly, man.
And I was too, Jacob, and I had to tell myself when I turned the tape off, I went, one game.
Yeah.
Clayton, calm down, Clayton. It's one game. But we'll see, man. We'll get to see him again this week, and we'll be looking for joint practice tomorrow and see if any updates come out that he might have a good practice tomorrow as well. So there's still things to watch. I know Jordan Love ain't going to be participating. That's a bummer. I know we got receivers out. There's people that are banged up.
It wasn't going to anyway, though, Clay. Not on that turf. No shot.
Yeah. He wasn't going to play. I think the plan was for him to practice.
Oh, I got you.
I got you. Practice going against the ones.
Joints, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I'm looking for these individual battles. I want to know how Anthony Belton holds up. I want to know how Jordan Morgan holds up. Hopefully he gets some reps at left tackle. We'll see if Rasheed Walker goes against their ones. But keep in mind, too, every year when we do joint practices, a fight breaks out.
Yep.
Right? And it seems like it's always Elton Jenkins. One way you can get kicked out of a joint practice if you get into a fight. I know last year, I think it was last year. I want to say it was Cincy last year. I could be wrong. It's like, I think Elton just wanted the day off. So he just went out there and hit somebody in the mouth. They said, all right, go to the locker room. Got it, coach. I'm out of here. But watch, it's going to get chippy tomorrow. Let's just hope nobody gets hurt, man. That's what I'm worried about. So, anything else, boys? We went way over, and I'm in trouble again.
Yeah.
No, that's it, man. Good show.
Right.
Now we got to do a little chalk talk.
Yeah, no, this is fun, man. I'm looking forward to Chalk Talks as we go on into the season. So everybody in the chat, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. Please, please, please take a second, hit that like button, hit subscribe. If you're new here, we're going live daily. It's football season, so make sure you click that bell icon so you get notified every time we go live. Also, if you want to support the show, join our Patreon community, patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. $3 gets you access to everything, get you entered into the giveaways. We're going to be giving away an autographed Dontavion Wicks rookie card this weekend. So probably most likely for the post-game show immediately following Packers Colts on Saturday afternoon. So, Emilio, Jacob, appreciate you, boys. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
All right. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. Go Pack, go.
There we go. We out.
Bye, guys.